thank you all. It is a pleasure to be here again this year. I represent about 5 school districts. Most of my district consists of HISD and Spring Branch ISD. And I'm very close with those school board members, so I get great coaching, Senator Whitmire, wherever you are. And also, those are 2 very innovative school districts. And I'm sitting with my SBISD board over here, and we have Duncan Klusman, one of the best superintendents in the whole state of Texas. I can guarantee that. But my name is Dwayne Bohac, and my general area that I represent is Spring Branch, Oak Forest, Cy-Fair, Bear Creek, and Garden Oaks. And before we get into the legislation that I'd like to talk about, that we passed this past session, I'd like to talk to you about my guiding philosophy on education. I have 4 kids. They've been in public school, private school, Montessori school, so I have a lot of experience. I've gone on a listening tour through my district and have probably visited a majority of the teachers and principals and students of the schools in my district. But here's my philosophy. I believe that Texas has the best teachers in the country. Unfortunately, these teachers have been handcuffed with regulation and high-stakes testing that restricts their ability to be creative and find innovative ways to teach and motivate our students. I believe that we must let teachers do what they love to do. And there's a couple of teachers in my family and they truly love it, and give them the tools to be successful. I've supported increasing accountability for parents and students. Our teachers work every day to motivate and teach, and parental involvement and student responsibility are absolutely critical to the success of a child. If I didn't help my kids with their homework, they would not make the good grades that they make. I also believe that we must aggressively tackle the dropout problem in Texas. Too many students are leaving school early, and too many of these young people are ending up, as Senator Whitmire suggested, in our correctional facilities and on our various social welfare programs. We must find proactive ways to keep students engaged and motivated to learn, as House Bill 3 did, Chairman Eisler. And in SBISD, we've done the Walk for Dropouts, going door to door to find and encourage families to come back to school. That's an innovative program as well. For years, I have voted for increasing teacher pay. Teachers are responsible for the future of our state and deserve to be compensated for their hard work. Amen? Finally, I believe that local control of our schools leads to more success. No one knows the strengths and needs of local schools better than those who live in a particular community, and I know because I shop, go to church, and go to the same restaurants my school board members do. We must allow local officials the flexibility to adjust to the needs of any school or school district. I'd like to address some particular legislation that we passed this past session and draw your attention to it. The first bill I'd like to talk about is House Bill 1801. It happened to be my bill. I worked with the Texas PTA to pass a bill that extends our annual school sales tax holiday to include school supplies. Before, it just included clothing, and kids need supplies as well, so this addresses the whole child. This tax cut saved families approximately $9.5 million this year. And in these economic times, that's real savings and really needed. I'd also like to talk about House Bill 3646, which I was a co-author. I think that was Scott's bill. Is that right, Scott? It was. It increased funding for public education by $1.9 billion, and it contained an $800 pay raise for teachers, counselors, nurses, librarians, and speech pathologists. Finally, House Bill 3, Chairman Eisler's bill. It's an extensive piece of legislation that tackles a number of issues facing our school. I couldn't even begin to explain it as well as he could. But I'd like to focus on one particular area of the bill that increases a student's flexibility to choose electives that provide a pathway to their post-high school life. House Bill 3 focused on increasing the flexibility with the recommended graduation plan, and allows for more electives and rigorous career and technology courses to count for fourth year math and sciences. That is very important. This is intended to keep students engaged in their classes and hopefully reduce the dropout rate. Finally, I want to close with this. I've enjoyed working with the teachers and the school boards that I represent. Your input on legislation truly does guide me in education issues in Austin, because I believe a good leader is a good listener. And I view you as customers, and I'm the retailer. And I appreciate your input.